yeah. A little, what's the name of that, Michael?
Ashokan farewell.
Ashokan farewell. Well, we're not saying farewell, we're saying welcome. And welcome to Jubilee Circle. And y'all, I got a new toy today that we're going to be playing with. If it comes in an electronic form, I'm usually getting it. So for those of you who are watching out there, you're going to see two different shots from one camera today. So here's your wide shot. You're enjoying us now. And here's going to be your close-up shot. Hopefully that switched. So now you get a little bit of a close-up when we're talking up here, and then we go back to the wide shot. And there's just one camera. It's a beautiful thing, and I've got a little iPad here that does it back and forth. I told the band I'm unreasonably pleased by my new toy. So welcome everybody out there watching us on YouTube and Facebook, and welcome to the folks here in the building. We've got folks distanced and masked and vaccinated. Yes. Jubilee Circle appearing before a live studio audience. Our presentation today is brought to you by the key of F. Everything is basically in the key of F today, except for a couple of songs. So Jubilee Circle, brought to you by the key of F, yes. And we are continuing our Via Transformativa theme of the great light. All of this quarter we've been exploring the truth about ourselves, and that is that we are created of and in light, and we are always surrounded by the great light of the holy that invites us to live into our true divine self. In her new book, The Way of Integrity, life coach Martha Beck uses Dante's Divine Comedy as a basis for trying to help us live into our true divine self. In one section, she talks about when Dante arrives at the gates of hell, right before he enters the 7 levels of hell, the Inferno. Inscribed over the gate is the famous line that we all know, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." Now, with such a warning, it's amazing that any of us actually embark upon a journey of spiritual awakening, but Beck, along with Dante, make the point that though entering that gate may be foreboding, once we get on the other side, what we find is true liberation. It's the fears that you have right now that keep you from entering into this gate of your own suffering. It's the worries about what could happen and your hopes that what could happen probably won't. And that keeps every single one of us just sort of milling about outside the gate, unable to enter into the place that would burn away all of our fears and truly liberate us. And Jesus in the gospel, he talks about gates as well. He offers a gateway to love, a gateway into the divine pasture of the peaceful unity that we have truly never really left. And the price of admission, though, it's the same as Dante's gate. We have to give up our fearful hopes that we won't have to deal with our pain or our trauma or our despair. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. It sounds like an ominous warning, but when we lay down all of our fears and, yeah, even our hopes that keep us from moving forward and expanding our spirit and taking that step toward love that wants to flow through us, when we do that, when we enter through the gate, miracles happen. This place within, it doesn't need hope, because you only need hope if you're having fear, because you hope something doesn't happen or hope something does. But when you enter that gate of love, fear goes away. Hope is not needed. Miracles happen. All we need here is a fierce kind of love that washes over us and makes us all want to say, "Oh yeah." Please rise as you're able. And as we do with every celebration, we remember the 4 elements, the fire and the earth and the water and the air, and we call the 4 directions to orient ourselves in this sacred time and space. And we burn sage as a reminder that we are in this sacred time and space.
Let us turn and face the east. Awaken us, Holy One. Open our eyes to your presence all around us, in the rising sun, in the beauty of all creation. Awaken us to your presence in, through, and around us at all times. Awaken us to the joy that abounds all around us in every moment of the day, inviting us to put our cares aside and enter into your presence. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the south. Open us, Holy One, to the amazing love this world offers us. Open our hearts to those around us, all the human, animal, and plant life that begs us daily to fall in love with the beauty around us. Open our ears to the love songs nature sings to us every day, the buzz of the bees, the yap of the dog, the song of the birds. Teach us, Holy One, to sing along. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the west. Grant us vision, Holy One, so we may see those around us who are in need of your love and your eternal joy. Reveal the hidden suffering of those we meet, so we may sing your songs of love to them to ease their pain and bring your peace to their lives. Quarter turn to the right, and we face the north. Guide us, Holy One. Show us how to fall in love every day with the image we see in the mirror. Help us to see that reflection not as ugly or beautiful, or fat or thin, but as a reflection of you, the holy, the divine. Help us to shine your love in this world. Turn back toward the center. I invite you, Jubilants, to fall in love with the world like Jesus did, understanding that you may be hurt, you may be abandoned, you may be disappointed, but love anyway, knowing that you may also hurt, abandon, or disappoint others. When we truly sing holy love songs to one another, we do so in our vulnerability, in our imperfection, trusting that the holy will bless our effort and help us all say, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, I invite you to remain standing here in the building. Those of you I can't see out there, do whatever you want. I can't see you. Stand, sit, kneel, whatever you want to do. We're going to sing our opening song, and if you want to follow along, you can on any device by going to jubileecircle.com or on the Facebook page. There will be a link to our bulletin today, so you can watch along. It'll give you the lyrics and the readings and everything that you will need to follow along this morning. All right. You ready? 2, 3, 4. Brand new day, and I got lots of love to give away. It don't matter if it's raining, nothing can faze me. I make my own sunshine, and if you think you can break me, baby, you're crazy. I make my own sunshine. Woo-hoo. My way. so glad to have people. Y'all may be seated out there. People. There are people in the people. We love people. All right. So, welcome everybody. Welcome again. Here record. In the
For 2011,
another record. Woo! So we have 2, 4, 6, 8 people in the crowd.
Plus 7.
And
so
7 up here. So, all right. Yeah, they're not all the band. Yay. All right. Just a little bit about us, Jubilee Circle. We are an inclusive, progressive interfaith community here in Columbia, South Carolina. We teach the timeless common wisdom of love and unity that is found in mainstream religions, metaphysical philosophies, mysticism, as well as the teachings of inspired secular and religious leaders throughout the ages. We seek to create a space for everyone to transform spiritually, to find life's deeper meaning, to love wastefully, to engage the world peacefully and do justice, all in an effort to discover how we can live into our true divine self. And we also recognize that we are all God's good creation. We are made out of love and joy, but we humans, we often forget this. We believe instead that we're just wandering around in this world of separation, this world of paradox. You're over here and I'm over there, and nobody is together. And so we look at people and we think of them as both beautiful and ugly, or good and bad, or generous and stingy, or loving and there's a room full of people. That's the best you can do. Thank you. Recalcitrant. But let us remember our function here, Jubilants. It is to continually return to the home that we have never left while we embody and become that open channel for the love that created us all. Oh, yeah. All right, a few announcements before we move on. Next week, we'll use music from Carole King, and we're going to explore the miracle of seeing things in a new light, which basically is what a miracle is. So the miracle of miracles next week. Coming up Tuesday, May 11th, beginning at 6:30 p.m., the Jubilee Circle Book Club will begin hosting some meetings, and we are going to be reading Martha Beck's new book, The Way of Integrity. I am about halfway through it, and it's amazing. It's life-changing. This book will change your life. This book will change your life. That's for all you Book of Mormon people out there. But it will. It's been a great book, and I've really enjoyed it. So we're going to hold discussions on Tuesday nights at 6:30, beginning on May 11th, and this will be a hybrid meeting. It'll be both online and in person, so you can come here to 6729 Two Notch Road with masks and social distancing, or you can log on to Zoom, and that information will be provided if you would like to do that. So bring your own refreshments and your own copy of the book, and we'll talk about that beginning Tuesday, May 11th. And then on Saturday, May 22nd, we're going to party in the parking lot. We're going to get some live bands and some music and put a stage out there and just have a good time. CC and the Recalcitrants will play. We'll have some drumming and some poetry. Bring your own chair, and there will be food and drink available from Very's Restaurant, which is beside us, and there's a new Italian ice place that opened down there near where we're going to be, so if it's a warm day, we'll be able to cool off by patronizing the local establishments here within our own parking lot at 6729 Two Notch Road. So everybody, it's a win-win-win-win-win situation for everybody. So anything else I'm missing? Oh, Beth wanted me to mention that there are vaccinations going on just down the street from us at Columbia Place Mall. I drove by there yesterday, and there were tumbleweeds. I mean, there was nobody there. Y'all, go get vaccinated so you can come back. We want y'all to be here. So please, at Columbia Place Mall, you just drive in. They come through the window and shoot you in the arm, and you're done. You drive away. It's a beautiful thing, and no appointments necessary. You can just drive through. All right, and I think it's for either the first or the second shot. It's free. They're all free. And if you've had your first shot, bring your card so they'll know to give you the second shot. But you can go through, just drive through. It's very, very easy. All right, breathe deeply. All right. Hear these wise and holy words from this wise and holy one.
From the Jesus story, John 10:7-10. Jesus said to them, "Verily, truly, I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and bandits, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. From A Course in Miracles, chapter 16. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all of the barriers within yourself you have built against it. It is not necessary to seek for what is true, but it is necessary to seek for what is false. Every illusion is one of fear, whatever form it takes, and the attempt to escape from one illusion into another must fail. If you seek love outside of yourself, you can be certain that you perceive hatred within and are afraid of it. Yet, peace will never come from the illusion of love, but only from its reality. Love calls, but hate would have you stay. Hear not the call of hate, and see no fantasies, for your completion lies in truth and nowhere else. For love is holy without illusion, and therefore holy without fear.
These are wise and holy words. Thanks be to the holy. All creation is holy word. All creation speaks volumes of the holy. Hallelujah. Let's stand and sing. And again, if you want to join, if you want to look on, there is a bulletin available at jubileecircle.com. You can download the PDF and follow along. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Don't you know in this new dark age we're all alive? And I won't take from you what you can't take from me, and I'll leave nothing here that you can't use upon your tree. I won't take from you what you can't take from me, and I'll leave nothing here but love and milk of plenty for your tea. Don't you know in this new dark age we're all light? We're all Oh yeah, right. Love that song. Y'all may be seated. Our song this morning comes from singer and songwriter Mary Chapin Carpenter. The song is called "Why Shouldn't We?" And when you listen to the song, she sings "Why shouldn't we?" It really. Sorry, I ruined the song for you because once you know that, you're like, what? That's all you hear now. So we're gonna try to sing it. Why shouldn't we? We're gonna shouldn't we? Yeah, we're gonna southernize it and sing shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? Let's all say that together. Shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? Okay, so when you're singing along, it's shouldn't we? Oh, Mary Chapin Carpenter is somewhere going, oh God, my head hurts. What's going on? But this came from her 2007 release called The Calling. Thank you, I heard that capo call over there. Everything's in F today, capo 3. Here we go. You ready? 2, 3, 4. We believe in of your eyes. God is all around. Buddha's at the gate. Allah hears your prayers. It's not too late. Ooh, now you get that special close-up shot. I'll try not to pick my nose. No, wait, sorry. There's an old Buddhist tale about two monks, a senior and a junior, who were traveling together, and they come to this river that has a very strong current, and they find a young woman there waiting. And she's afraid to cross the river alone because she thinks she'll get swept away in the current, so she asks the monks if they would help her. And without a word, and in spite of his sacred vow never to touch a woman, the older monk picks her up, crosses the river, sets her down on the other side. The younger monk joins them across the river, and he is aghast at the action of this older monk, that he has broken his vow. But the younger monk, he doesn't say anything. So an hour passes as they travel on, and then 2 more hours, and then 3 pass by, and finally, the now quite agitated younger monk, he can't stand it anymore, and he looks at his mentor and he says, "Why? Why did you carry that woman when we took vows as monks to never touch a woman?" And the older monk looked at him and said, "I set her down 3 hours ago beside the river. Why are you still carrying her?" I mean, and we laugh. We laugh at this younger monk. But you know what? We're all that younger monk. We hang on to the things that drive us crazy. Our old hurts, our familiar grudges, our opinions of the world that we developed as children or young adults or just yesterday. We hang on to our stories about lack, our stories of disappointment, our stories of how we're not good enough or smart enough or rich enough or good looking enough to live into our dreams in the world. Conversely, we hold on and carry stories about our glory days, those times when we felt successful, when the world adored us, and we felt some manner of joy and peace that we feel like we haven't been able to recapture. And we carry those limitations, just like that young monk carried that woman in his mind hours after the older, wiser monk had put her down and put her out of his mind. But we can't be too hard on ourselves for being more like the younger than the older monk. We're raised in a world that tells us that we are nothing but our limitations. And that gets reinforced. It gets reinforced in school, on the playground, in the office, sometimes in our own homes. We come face to face with things that make us shrink back. We are not our limitations. Like that wiser monk, we can put them down anytime we choose. A Course in Miracles tells us this morning that our task, the whole reason that we are here, is not to seek for love, which is what the world tells us we ought to be doing. Seek for love, seek for adoration, seek for people who build you up, seek for those people that love you. No, we're not to seek for love, because the ego's idea of love is all of this stuff that comes to us from the outside. But instead we are to seek and find all of the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. But that's a different kind of love we're talking about. We're not talking about the love of the world. We don't put up barriers to that. Oh, come on, adore me. Please. I can't get enough. Right? I can't get enough of that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the love that scares the heck out of us. We're talking about that love that makes us know that we are the light of the world. That light where we step into not our grandiosity of the ego, but our grandeur, where we fulfill our function, our purpose in this world. It's not to seek for love out here. It's to take down all the barriers inside that we have built up against this love that assures us that we are the light of the world, that we are made of love and joy and peace. And that is the love that we need to let in. And we build the barriers against it. It's not necessary to seek for what is true, the Course says, but it is necessary to seek for what is false. What is true is already within us. The things that come to us from the outside world, 99.9% of the time, that's the false stuff. Every illusion, it says, is one of fear whatever form it takes. That younger monk, he kept carrying that woman in his mind because he was afraid. But not just for himself, he was afraid for his older monk brother. The younger monk may have felt he had a duty. Now he's got to report his elder. He touched a woman. Perhaps his mentor's action made him question his own choices in life. You know, if this teacher is willing to break a vow so easily, is this the life I want to live? The stories that just went through his mind, they're all based on fear. And they all destroyed his peace. For all those hours he carried him around. The other monk, he knew there was no vow on earth that could keep him from committing an act of loving kindness. His vow, I'm sure, to never touch a woman was probably in a sensual way, but to help a fellow human safely cross a river was not just a kindness, but this was a duty for that wise monk. He knew that his life was to be spent in service to others, not in service to vows. And this is where we lose ourselves, jubilants. We trade one illusion for another. If this older monk had refused to help, he'd just be trading his illusion of obedience for an illusion of piety. And we do it all the time. We chase the outside measure of things in this world. The ego is the master of convincing us that we're making spiritual progress, when often we're just swapping one fear for another fear that is just a little less anxiety producing. We do it all the time. When we seek for love or affirmation from the outside world, the Course says, we're really just reflecting our own self-hatred. And there is no one among us who needs the affirmation of another human being. And that is really bad news for people like me whose love language is words of affirmation. But you know what? Those words are within you. They're there. The divine within us speaks those words of love constantly, affirming again and again that we are the light of the world, that we are created out of light and joy and peace, and that love resides within us, just waiting to be recognized, honored, and embodied in the world through us. Oh, but that voice of the ego, it's so loud and so insistent. It's got all of its criticisms. It's got all of its grandiosity. It makes it hard to hear love's affirming words. And this is our conundrum, jubilants. Love calls, the Course said, but hate would have you stay. So how do we remove that barrier of hatred? Well, like the monk with the woman, we put it down. Hear not the call of hatred, the Course says, and see no fantasies, for your completion lies in truth and nowhere else. And that truth, jubilants, is that you are the light of the world. And when you realize that, even for just a little moment, fear disappears. Our spirits rise. So jubilants, let us stop limiting ourselves by putting down anything that makes us fearful or anxious or even feel grandiose, and begin instead to embrace the vast, infinite possibilities of love that exist, that already exist within us. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Breathe deep. 2. Whoop. Back to the wide shot. 2, 3, 4. We believe in things that will give us hope. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Let your voice be heard. Celebrate your voice. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Come on, darling, feel your spirits rise. Come on, children, open up your eyes. God is all around. Who does at the gate? Allah hears your prayers. It's not too late. Why shouldn't we? Oh, well, the ego has a million reasons why we shouldn't embrace our true divine self. You're not good enough. You're never going to be ready. It's just all woo-woo, new age gobbledygook. Get real, man. You are not some infinite being. You're just a goofball in a meat suit trying to arrange the world around you in such a way that you don't have to deal with any of the pain that you have been stuffing down since childhood. Okay, maybe that's just my ego. Nobody else out there seemed to be resonating. Well, anyway, whatever your ego says along those lines, it's a lie. None of those stories we tell ourselves are true. We are good enough. We are all ready. This is not some crazy woo-woo talk. This is the reality of who you are. You are the light of the world. And all of the ego's yeah buts are not going to change that. The Course tells us early in the first few pages, it says this is a required course. And we will learn these lessons about how to let go of our illusory stories one way or the other. Or we're just going to keep repeating this existence over and over again. Why not learn it now? Get it over with. Save yourself some time, maybe some lifetimes. Because if you do, if you embrace it in this moment, you can end not just your own suffering right this minute, but maybe for all eternity. If we get it right, maybe we end the suffering of the entire world. Oh, wait. Hey, now you can see me better. Like the Course, Jesus, in today's reading, is offering that better way. He's offering this gate that we can go through and leave this illusory world of ego and enter into this capital R reality of our true divine self. And this passage, of course, in traditional Christianity, has been used to tout that the only way to God is through a belief that Jesus is your only Savior. And this is not true, of course. All of Jesus's I am statements, especially in the Gospel of John, such as I am the way, the truth, and the life, they're not made from that ego self. They're not made from that little I. They're made from the big I. They don't come from his grandiosity. They come from his grandeur, his higher, true, divine self. That place where we all reside in unity, none of us more special than the other, all the light of the world. So when he says he is the gate or the door of the sheep, he's not talking about a real gate. Of course, that word in Greek, while it actually can mean a real gate, what that word means, what it denotes, is an opportunity, an invitation. So Jesus is offering this invitation for us to step into capital R reality, the realm of God where there is no perception of separation. Jesus is speaking as his Christ consciousness here, which means he's not representing an ego called Jesus and has instead become that embodiment of love that invites all of us to step into our unity. The ego, of course, that's the thief and the bandit that Jesus talks about, the one that promises that it can help us reach some spiritual achievement in this world. That deal, though, as many of us have discovered, comes with a lot of baggage. It comes with a lot of doctrines and dogmas and rules you got to follow and ways to make you feel all spiritually superior. I got mine. That's not the gate of love that leads into God's realm. That's not the gate Jesus is talking about. That's a counterfeit kind of love. It causes divisions because it creates those who are outside of the right religion and those who are inside of it. And we switch religions or denominations and we make ourselves feel more special. This is what it means to trade one illusion for another. We leave behind one illusion of the correct religion for the other illusion of the other correct religion. However, when we go through love's gate, when we enter into our own Christ consciousness, Jesus says we find pasture. We find a place where we can feast on this reality of love and no longer hunger for anything in this ego world. In this place, Jesus says we have life and we will have it abundantly. The word for life, we'll get to abundantly in a minute, but the word for life in this passage means experiencing the fullness of existence, but it also means that we will live from that genuine and authentic place of true divine self. And when we begin to remove all of the barriers to love that we have built up, all those painful memories, all those grudges and fears, even those past joys and good times, we find ourselves living into that place of divine integrity. We want to shed all of the heavy egoic things of this world, all the heavy relationships and situations that weigh us down. Even those joyful memories that we hold can feel heavy if you think you've reached some pinnacle of happiness in the past that you're never going to recapture. So lay those down, jubilants. Let go of anything that weighs down your spirit so you can experience your true lightness of being. So the other word for that Greek word for life, which is zoe. All right, here's your Greek, zoe. Zoe. The other meaning is life after resurrection. When we remove the barriers to love within us, when we roll away the stone of the ego's tomb, we become enlightened. We walk out into the sunshine through that gate of love into God's realm where our true divine self really lives. And in this place, Jesus says, we live abundantly. And of course, the ego goes, yay, money! No. You might get some, who knows? But that's not the point. It's not all about material things. But they might be, who knows? But the abundance Jesus talks about is way more than that. This is the abundance that expands our spirit, not just our bank account. The abundance grows us in new, exciting, and unexpected ways. It allows us to feel love in ways and amounts and places and things just never imaginable. It releases all of our grievances, all of the things that hold us back from living as the light of the world. So come on, jubilants. Let your spirits rise. Open up your eyes. Enter the only gate that matters, the one that invites us to a life of fullness, integrity, and abundance. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Breathe deep. 2, 3, 4. We believe in things that make us all the same. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Love belongs to all in deed and name. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? And we believe in things that can't be done. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Lift up your heart, put down your gun. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? So come on, darling, feel your spirits rise. Come on, children, open up your eyes. God is all around, Buddha's at the gate. Allah hears your prayers, it's not too late. There's another Buddhist story about a man who came to the Buddha and he brought an offering of flowers. He had a flower in each hand, and the Buddha looked at him and said, "Put it down." And so the man placed the flower in his left hand on the ground in front of the Buddha. And the Buddha looked at him again and said, "Put it down." And the man laid the flower in his right hand down in front of the Buddha. And again the Buddha looked at him and said, "Put it down." And the man said, "I have put down the flowers. What else is there to put down?" And the Buddha said, "I'm not referring to your flowers." Jubilants, God will never demand that we put down our beauty. The ego will try to convince us that we have to sacrifice everything that we hold dear to win some sort of favor with the universe. But entering the gate of love doesn't mean we lose anything of value in this world. Instead, it transforms our perception of what is valuable. If you step through the gate of love, you may lose some relationships. You might lose some possessions. You might lose some prestige. Whatever it is the ego has us convinced is important for our life to be successful. However, when we accept that invitation and go through the gate of love, our perception is transformed. We are no longer seeing the world through the eyes of the ego. Instead, we're looking through God's eyes, which means we don't sacrifice anything because our ego's upside down and inside out ideas about what is valuable gets corrected. We see that relationships are the most valuable thing. We see that helping others across the perilous rivers of this life is more important than some vow we take to some religious institution. We see that ending the suffering of those around us is more important than following some unjust, ego-concocted law. We see those around us not as obstacles or insignificant or as enemies or even friends or loved ones. Instead, we see them all as innocent, beautiful, infinite spirits having a bodily experience and learning their own lessons on how to enter through the gate of love into their true divine self. Jubilants, the gate of love calls us to enter, but we can only go through that gate with empty hands. We have to put it all down. We have to put down our grievances. We have to put down our fear, our despair, our urge to compete, our feelings of lack, our feelings of anger. We also have to put down our feelings of being spiritually superior or superior in any other way. We have to put down our grandiosity. We have to put down our penchant for wanting the world to praise us, and recognize us. So how do we do that? Well, if you have A Course in Miracles handy somewhere, you can turn to to lesson 189. You can look this up later. Look it up on your phones, lesson 189 in the workbook of the course. This is exactly how to put it all down. Here's an exercise for you to do this week. It says, simply do this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned about the world, all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false or good or bad, or every thought it judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring with you one thought that the past has taught, nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. Forget this world, it says. Forget this course, and come with wholly empty hands unto your God. Jubilants, put it all down. That is what the Christ within us beckons us to do, to put everything down. That prevents us from feeling that eternal love, from being that eternal love, from entering that gate of love into the fullness of who we are. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? 2, 3, 4. We believe in things we're told that cannot change. Why shouldn't we? We had heroes once, and we will again. Why shouldn't we? So come on, darling. Come on, children. God is all around, meet us at the gate. Allah hears our prayers, it's not too late. So come on, darling, feel your spirits rise. Come on, children, open up your eyes. God is all around, meet us at the gate. Allah hears the prayers, it's not too late. Why should we? Why should we? Why should we? Why should we? Oh, yeah. All right. I invite you during this prayer time. Ooh, we got to set the candles and everything back up. We used to have a prayer table that you could approach. It's still over there. We just don't have any candles. Woo, this coming back together thing. I don't know. Is anybody feeling anxious about that? You know, I mean, you know, we for a year we've been doing this, you know, with cameras and stuff, and to have people come back, it's like, okay, where are we going to put people? I mean, we've dedicated like this whole corner to to multimedia. So it's like, I have to sit over here. We're not going to be circle anymore. We're going to be kind of clustered. Jubilee cluster. Yeah. Doesn't have the same ring. Woo, yeah, a goo-goo cluster. That sounds better. All right, breathe deeply. I invite you in this prayer time. Whatever it is that comes to you that you are holding on to, I invite you in this moment to put it down. Even if you have to mime it, even if you're like, this is my fear, and I have to put it down. Do that. Whatever helps you. That feeling that you have within that is your barrier to love. That fear, that anger, that grudge you're holding, that grievance that you have. All of the beliefs that you have. I mean, we talk about identity politics and whatever. I'm this because I believe that. Put that down. Who are you really? You're not any of that. We're not our politics. We're not our religion. We're not our background. We're not any of this. That's not who we are. We are the light of the world. Peace and love and joy reside within every single one of us. That's who you are. I invite you in this time to concentrate on your reality, peace and love and joy. That is what you are made of. All right, now I'm ready. 2, 3, 4. Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth. Give me life, keep me free from birth. Give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with heart. voices, heavy load, trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. Oh yeah. All right. Now we are still going to do our Zoom meetings, so those of you who are usually joining us on Zoom, please feel free to do that as we wrap up here, and we will join you all over in the Zoom room. So last week we had sound troubles. Hopefully things are better now, because I tried to make this grand shift in Jubilee's mission, and then the sound went so anyway. Yeah, so well, I'll do something. That's right. Well, I figure, I mean, universe does all sorts of things to help you out. And so because the sound was all garbled, I have actually delivered this message like 3 more times since then in the past week. So I think universe said, no, and if it had gone well last week with no troubles, I probably never would have said it again. So there you go. So now I've had to repeat myself. So what I was saying last week was Jubilee Circle has been around for 11 years, and for those 11 years I have sort of felt badly because I couldn't motivate our members, our congregation, to get together and like form a group and go do things out in the community like volunteer work or etc. And I'm realizing as I look at the makeup of our congregation that we don't need that sort of ministry. Other churches are doing it, and they're doing it well, and we applaud them, and that is great that they are doing that. But this congregation is made up of people who do that every day. We have social workers, and we have teachers, and we have healthcare workers, and we have people who help folks who are transitioning into older care, like nursing homes and trying to find benefits. We have people who do this all the time. This is the individual mission of everybody who is in this congregation, is to go out and make the world better. And so what I have come to realize, this is 11 years in, so I'm a slow learner, y'all. But what I've come to realize is that for Jubilee to step into its integrity, to step into what it really is, we are a spiritual dojo. This is where you come to learn your moves. This is where you come to learn to remove all of those barriers to love so you can become more and more transformed within, so you walk out into the world and you transform the world because of what you have learned here. And so that, to me, when I realized that, it was like, I can breathe now. That's what Jubilee is. We are a spiritual dojo. Our mission is to transform people who then transform the world. And so with that mission, with that idea in mind, what I want Jubilee to become as we begin to open up and hold more events and have more people back in the building is a place of spiritual education where we will invite spiritual teachers, where we will hold workshops, where we will hold retreats, where we will hold the things that expand your spirit, that expand your mind, that expand your capacity to love and your capacity to go out into the world and love. And of course, we will have lots of arts and music events here because that's what we are too, because arts and music expand our spirit. And arts and music expand our ability to love and be transformational in the world. So that, Jubilants and friends, is what I'm asking you to support. That's what I'm asking you to give your money to, because we are going to need money to bring in spiritual teachers. We're going to need money to do workshops. We're going to need money to bring in stage acts and plays and music. We're going to need your support. But more than that, we're going to need a team. We're going to need people who want to do that, who want to come in here and be part of this action, who help us find the teachers to bring in, who help us find the audience that's going to come. So we need marketing. We need people who are going to do these things. That's what Jubilee is. That's what excites me about Jubilee. I've never been this excited about Jubilee since I started the darn thing. I hadn't been this excited because this is what Jubilee is, and this is what Jubilee will become if we are dedicated to making it so. And so if you support us with your money, if you support us with your time and with your talents, that is what we will become. in this community, and we will be a valuable part of the community. And so you can give in several ways. You can go to jubileecircle.com. There's a donate button right there, and there's a basket right here. Thank you, Jessica. And there is also a Venmo. Yay! So for anybody who's like, oh man, I forgot my wallet. Hey, you got your phone? Yeah. And if you want to go to Venmo, at Jubilee Circle is our handle. So just at Jubilee Circle, and you can give through Venmo. So thank you for your support. Thank you for all of the ones who have kept us going through this year of pandemic. We are eternally grateful, especially for some of the special donations that have come in over the past year. And so we thank you for your support. We thank you for your continuing support. We thank you for your ongoing support. We thank you for your support bras. We thank you for all of that. We thank you for your jock straps. Anything that gives you support. We are happy for it. And so we are going to head off to our Zoom room here in just a second. We invite you to join us there. If you're not joining us there, I would like to remind you of something that 14th century mystic once said that was very amazingly deep. He said, if the only prayer you ever say in your entire lives is thank you, it will be enough. That's what Meister Eckhart said. And so we say together, thank you. And we say, oh yeah, we all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. We all walk together with hearts and arms open wide. We make our way by walking, in love we will abide. The path is always open, and all travelers tonight. So open up your heart, forget those tears and cry, because we all walk together, hand in hand, side by side. Yeah, we all walk together, hand in hand, side by Oh yeah! All right. All right, everybody. Join us on Zoom. If not, have not have a great week. Oh yeah.